What's up YouTube, it's the Gaming Jackal, and in this video I'm going to be talking about cool video game cover art. I went through the video games I owned and picked out some that I thought had cool cover arts, and I thought I would talk about it. I have a huge stack right here, so let's get to it. It's just going to be a mix of certain games from certain systems. So up first we have Warriors Rush 3 Ultimate, the PlayStation 4 version. Now I think this is cool cover art. I like the blue color. I like how you have Yukimura Sanada and Jia Yun on the front. Both of the front line characters, like pretty much the whatever you call it for Yukimura Sanada for Samurai Warriors, Jia Yun for Dynasty Warriors. Then you got a whole bunch of other characters in the background, and you have this thing in the sky behind the text, and then the text itself. Just always thought it was cool cover art. And this is a good game too, by the way. Definitely like this game. One of the best Warriors games. And it's great. Next up we have... Now, I'm not a fan of this game or this specific genre. It just isn't my thing. But I still think this is cool cover art. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remaster for PlayStation 4. My brother got this game. I'm not into these kind of games, but I do think this is pretty cool cover art. I like this kind of blue ocean thing that you have going on here. I like the color. And then you have Titus and Yuna together as characters with the text. So I think that's pretty cool cover art. I like it. But yeah, this game in that genre just isn't really my thing. I tried a lot of those, just can't really get into it. Up next, we have The Evil Within 2 for PlayStation 4. Pretty cool cover art. I like how it's this like silk, liquid white theme color with Sebastian, and then there's some creatures behind him. He's holding a gun, like the red text. Now, I am not a huge fan of this game. I love The Evil Within 1, and I feel like this is a disappointing sequel. I didn't like a lot of the things they did with this, a lot of the changes they made. You have a change in director. This is more of like a American Western take on horror, whereas The Evil Within 1 was more of a Japanese take on horror. And I just prefer the first one. I felt like this was disappointing, but I do like the cover art. It's pretty cool. Up next, we have Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, which I haven't played this yet. This was something that was given to me by somebody I'm cool with on YouTube, Larry the Batman fan. I haven't played this yet, but this is pretty cool cover art. That character looks cool, cool text. I like the electricity and the color on there. And I do know that that character is actually the actors from The Mist. He was in The Mist. He was the military guy that got thrown out the store. But yeah, that's pretty cool cover art. I do like it. Up next, we have Final Fantasy Type 0 HD for the Xbox One. This is another game that I got from Larry the Batman fan. I haven't played this yet, but I do like this cover art. It looks cool. Flag in the background, cool color. The character looks cool on the front cover. It's got like this anime look to it. I think it's pretty cool cover art. I like it. Up next, we have Resident Evil The Dark Side Chronicles for the Wii. I think this is pretty awesome cover art. You got Leon and Claire, you got Steve, you got Jack Krauser, who's one of my favorite Resident Evil characters. You got cool blue text. And I just like the overall look at this and the color and how it looks. Mixes in what this collection is about. RE2 in there, Operation Javier, Code Veronica, and it's really cool. I played some of this. I'm not big on this or Umbrella Chronicles because I'm not a big fan of the first-person arcade shooter thing with the Wii, but I could always go back to it one day and see what I think of it now. Thanks to Larry the Batman fan, who also sent me a Wii controller and hookups for the Wii. But hopefully one day they could take Operation Javier from this, which is Leon and Krauser's campaign, before RE4, and remake it or bring it back, because I'd like to play it over-the-shoulder gameplay. But yeah, this is really cool cover art. I like this a lot. Next up is Mortal Kombat Armageddon for PlayStation 2. I think this is pretty cool cover art. I like this. It's a mix of silver and red. You have that, whatever this is, this dragon thing that they used a lot for Mortal Kombat on the cover. And I like the red and silver, and the text looks pretty cool. I remember liking this game back in the day and having fun with it. I mean, I don't think I'm really super big into Mortal Kombat nowadays or fighting games like this, because you have to remember a whole bunch of combos, and you know, I hate having to remember all those combos. I prefer more simplistic fighting games like Def Jam Fight for New York. I think I'm still into Tekken, but I don't really know about Mortal Kombat these days. But I remember liking this game, and this is cool cover art. And this has every character, you know, not DLC, so I got to give it credit for that. But I remember not minding that game back in the day. Up next is Legacy of Kain Defiance for PlayStation 2. I think this is pretty cool cover art as well. I like the red color. You have Raziel and you have Kain, the characters you play as, and the two most important characters of the series. You got this red text, blue color in there. Cool cover art despite the stickers on there because this was used. Legacy of Kain series, I liked when I was younger. I don't know how I feel about it nowadays because I revisited Blood Omen 2 and Soul Reaver 2, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, the series has cool aesthetics and art style and voice acting and story, but I don't know if I'm really into the series nowadays compared to when I used to. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll have to go back and play all these and see what I think, but this is really cool cover art. I did like this game back in the day. You know, being able to play as these two characters and switching between the two was cool. Alright, so next we have Dead Rising 2, the remaster for PS4. Great game, good sequel to the Dead Rising series. The last really good Dead Rising game. But this is really cool cover art. I like this cover art. You have Chuck Green with the paddle saw. You have the zombies. You got a zombie with a Servbot mask. And you got kind of this blue color in the background. And I believe the area he's in, it might be, it looks like the arena. But yeah, I think that's cool cover art. Cool text, cool mix of red in there and blue. And Chuck and the zombies, paddle saw in the color. I think it looks all cool and think it's pretty cool cover art. And I always liked how with the Dead Rising text they had a zombie in there. I always thought that was cool and distinctive about the Dead Rising series. So up next we have Dead Rising 1 Remaster for the PS4. Classic game, one of my favorite video games of all time, the best Dead Rising game in the series. And personally I think this is the king of zombie games and it's the best zombie game that's been made. But I like the cover art for this, it's really cool. You got Frank West holding up a TV, there's a bunch of zombies around him, and he's actually in a different area that's not in the final game. It's kind of like, I think it's like a mix of the entrance plaza and some areas from Wonderland Plaza in the final game, and some of these areas mixed together are from the beta game. And if you look hard enough, there are some characters in here that are in the story that are zombies, but I don't want to spoil that for those that haven't played it. And then I think, I don't know if it's on this version, but it's either this one or the 360 version. You can actually see Jeff and Natalie's name, the survivors, I think. They were supposed to be in this area or something in the beta version. But yeah, really cool cover art. Like the blue colored text. Of course, the zombie in the text. All the zombies around him lifting up the TV and the sparks under him. Frank West himself. Pretty cool cover art. I always wondered who that was based off. If that was Terrence Rotolo, or if that was just a different version of Frank, or if they got a real actor to do this picture. That's what I've always wondered that, because this looks different than the Frank you play as in the game, and I don't know if that is Terrence Rotolo or not, but I would like to figure out who that is. Up next we have Resident Evil Village for the PS4. I do think this is pretty cool cover art, honestly. I think this is cool cover art. It's basically Chris, half werewolf. I mean, that never happens in the game, but basically Chris mixed with a werewolf, and it's pretty cool cover art, you know. It's definitely better than what you got on the back. I think what you got on the back of this case is pretty lackluster in my opinion, but I think the cover art is pretty cool. The mix of Chris and the werewolf, the color, and yeah, I think the cover art for this game is pretty cool. I like it. And this is a really good game itself. I really had a lot of fun with this game. It's even better than 7, and thought it was a great game. But yeah, there's cool cover art, cool text, this white and kind of yellow, and you know, Chris and the werewolf, so that's pretty cool. Up next we have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 for the Xbox 360. Alright game, but it's not as good as the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I prefer the first one. This one has a little bit more on the bland side with some of the areas. Not as big of a roster as the first one. There's a lot of characters not in this one compared to the first one, like Blade. You don't get as many costumes. I think it's a step down in a lot of ways, but still an okay game. Cool cover art, though. I like the cover art for Marvel's Alliance 2. You have Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, Wolverine, Gambit, Deadpool, Venom, and Iron Man kind of all together like this, and then Spider-Man in the middle. Pretty cool cover art, pretty cool use of colors with the silver, kind of white, red, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool cover art. They need to re-release this game because it got pulled from the digital storefronts of all the modern platforms because it was only released digitally for a remaster. They didn't do a physical version. They need to because you can't get this with DLC anymore. They never came out with a physical version with it. Marvel's Alliance 1 has a version with DLC, but it's so expensive and it's only for Xbox. So they need to re-release this and the first one physically. Activision, I don't know why they only did it digital only. It's such a shame because now you can't get them anymore. Up next is Gears of War for the Xbox 360. Great game. Probably my favorite Gears of War in the series, I would say, in terms of campaign and story. I just like how this has a horror feel. I like the gritty, rough art style this has. The remake was cool, but I prefer this over the remake with the art style. You got great characters, great gameplay, cool color. You got Marcus on there, you got Dom, you got, I believe, Anthony Carmine. Just pretty cool cover art. And this is a fantastic game and a phenomenal game. It blew me away in the Xbox 360. So really cool cover art. I like the mix of red and white text and all the characters on there. Pretty cool. Up next we have Mortal Kombat 9, I guess you would call it, for the Xbox 360. As I stated with Mortal Kombat Armageddon, I'm not sure if I'm super into these games nowadays. The kind of fighting games they are, I don't really know, to be honest, but I did have fun with this back in the day and didn't mind it, and the campaign and stuff, and I played some of the multiplayer stuff, but I think the cover art for this game is pretty cool. I like the mix of Sub-Zero and Scorpion and your blue and kind of orange flame. It's pretty cool cover art, I think. Looks cool. Two cool characters, cool color mix-ups, and cool text with the color it has. And I think people consider this Mortal Kombat 9 pretty much, even though it doesn't have a number on it. Up next we have Fallout New Vegas for the Xbox 360. Pretty good game. It's when Bethesda was in their prime. Really enjoyed this game. It's awesome. Really good Fallout game. And this does have really cool cover art. It's the NCR Ranger holding a revolver. You got cool text, cool background of Vegas. Really cool cover art. Now, the best version of this game is the Ultimate Edition, which comes with all the expansion packs, but the cover art on that doesn't look as cool as this one, in my opinion. It's him, but to the side, and you see Vegas. I mean, it's a different look, but it's not as cool as this one. I like this cover art. And you can get this outfit as well in the game. It's a really cool outfit. But yeah, really cool cover art, cool text, cool NCR Ranger with a revolver and picture of Vegas. I think that's pretty cool cover art for Fallout New Vegas. I like it. Up next we have Gears of War 3 for the Xbox 360. Great game. This might be my favorite. No, yeah, this is my, I mean, campaign-wise, one's my favorite, but I think Gears of War 3 is my favorite in the series just because of the campaign, the versus, the horde, the multiplayer, Ram Shadow, the amount of characters. And when this game came out, it was like I got to experience Xbox Live for the first time and experience multiplayer, and it just, I have a lot of nostalgia for it. It holds a special place for me. But the cover art for this game is pretty cool. You have Marcus, Dom, you have Anya, I think Baird, and, well, I don't see Baird. So yeah, I don't see Baird in there, but you have Cole in the background. So pretty cool cover art. You got the emulsion, or the emulsion Lambent stuff behind them, because it's the start of the Lambent stuff. Cool cover art of all the characters, cool black text, and cool red text. Up next we have Gears of War 2 for the Xbox 360, another good Gears of War game. Loved this one back in the day. Remember playing this on Christmas, being blown away by it. I also love how you could play offline versus with bots. You couldn't do that in the first one, and that was great back for me when I didn't have internet. Really cool cover art. You got Marcus there, you got Dom, you have, is there any other character on here? There's some characters on the side, but it's mostly just Marcus and Dom on the front. Marcus holding some cog tags. Pretty cool cover art. I like the color they use, the white text, the red text. Just really cool cover art for a really good game. Next up is Left 4 Dead 2 for Xbox 360. Great game. I really wish the series would have gotten a third game. Back 4 Blood was garbage. Not a good way to take the Left 4 Dead style and do something new. But Left 4 Dead 2 is a great game. Liked playing this back in the day. I would show the first one as well, but I don't have that one anymore. I need to get it one day. I heard recently this and the first one were taken off digital storefronts as well as a DLC, so that's unfortunate. That really sucks. They need to put out a complete edition of this in the first one, and they need to remaster this in the first one so that PlayStation can get a release of it and Nintendo, because you can only get it on Xbox and PC. But this is really cool cover art. I just like the simplicity of the background and then the zombie hand holding up two, as in this is part two. So I just think it's really cool cover art. Cool white text, cool red text mixed in there, and pretty cool. And I like how they call it Left 4 Dead 2, not just like putting FOR. You know, it's a bit more creative. So pretty cool cover art. Up next we have Warriors Orochi for the Xbox 360. Great game. It's when Koei Tecmo, or back when they were just Koei, I think, was in their prime. When Warriors games were really good, had an English dub, good old days. Really cool cover art for Warriors Orochi 1. You got Lubu and Tadagatsu duking it out, dueling, and you got Orochi in the background. Really sets the tone and mood for what this game is. Dynasty Warriors meets Samurai Warriors. Really cool cover art. Like this one a lot. You got 3 great characters on the cover. Cool mixture of colors, cool text, cool color of text. Yeah, pretty cool cover art. Up next we have Fallout 3 for Xbox 360. Great game. This is personally my favorite game of all time. I was blown away by this back in the day. This is cool cover art for this game. I like this kind of greenish black and white color they got going for it. I like that it's like a Brotherhood of Steel outfit, so it could either be, I think it's just a Brotherhood of Steel character, or it could be the character you play as in Brotherhood of Steel outfit. I don't know, but it's the Brotherhood of Steel look, which that armor looks really cool. I like the mix of white, green, and black. Now the text looks pretty cool cover art. It's awesome. I need to get the Game of the Year edition for this game, because back when I got the DLC for this, it was like when it was sold individually at GameStop, and that's pretty rare. I don't think they do physical editions anymore for DLC or any kind of add-ons. So that was kind of interesting. They did that back in the day, but I had to do that because back then I didn't have internet. But yeah, pretty cool cover art. Up next is Warriors Orochi 2 for the Xbox 360. Great game, a great sequel to Warriors Orochi 1. More content, new characters, really good game. PSP version is definitely the best because it has more content, but still good on the Xbox 360. Warriors Orochi 2 has really good cover art. I like the cover art of Orochi on the cover with his scythe. The stuff in the background, the mix of the colors, purple and red. I like how the text looks, the mix of the colors on the text. It's pretty cool cover art, and it's awesome. I like it. I also do like the cover art for the PAL edition of this game, at least in the PS2. I think that one looks cool. It has like some characters on it and stuff. That one looks pretty cool, actually. Next up is Def Jam Fight for New York for the PlayStation 2. Great game. One of the most expensive video games I own. I did a video about that called Most Expensive Video Game I Own. Pretty cool cover art. I don't know who that character is supposed to be, but it's somebody in a hoodie holding up the city. It's pretty cool cover art. I like the kind of brown color and black and white, and then also black and white text, and the text looks pretty cool. So yeah, cover art for that's pretty cool. Really wish they'd bring that series back, because Def Jam is great, except for Icon. Fuck Icon. Next up is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 for the Xbox 360. Really cool cover art. This is a great game, the best one in the series. One of my favorite video games of all time. Personally, my favorite superhero game, because it has like a lot of Marvel characters and it's just so much fun to play. And you have Spider-Man in the middle, you got Electro, you got Wolverine, you got Thor, you got Thing, who's one of my favorites. You have Ghost Rider, who's also another one of my favorites. You have Captain America, you have Iron Man, Spider-Man. Captain America is another one of my favorites too. Really like the cover art for this. Bunch of characters around it, and then Spider-Man in the middle. Cool blue text, cool silver and red text, and cool text structure and what they did here. So this is cool cover art as well. Pretty similar to the, that's Marvel's Minds 2 has pretty similar cover art to this. So yeah, really cool cover art for a great game. Much like 2, they need to re-release this physically instead of just doing the digital bullshit where the game is not available anymore. I need to get the gold edition one day if I ever have enough money for it, though. It'll cost me a lot to get it because the gold edition for this is very expensive, but It comes with Venom and Hulk and a bunch of extra characters and Doctor Doom. Up next is Dead Rising 2 Off the Record for Xbox 360. Now, I don't mind this game. It was cool to get a Dead Rising 2 with Frank West. Psychopath Chuck is cool. There are some cool things about this game. But I do think the series started to get kind of for me with the start of this. Because there's some things in it that got worse over time, like the over the top stuff, like Stacy's boss battle, which is like something very over the top for Dead Rising compared to the other boss battles. You had, stupid shit like Frank taking a selfie with a zombie was one of the moves you got. And while that was a move you got, they really amped that up and made that a part of Dead Rising 4. Um, I don't mind Frank West in this game, though they made him fat. Um, and a lot of the clothes you put on don't look good on him because he's fat. And I just prefer, I don't know, like, there's something about Frank West in this game that I don't love as much as DR1. I feel like Frank West as a character, there's just something about him that worked better for me that I liked more in 1. I also think he was a little bit better in Case West, but I don't mind this game. It's still when Dead Rising was good, but I think some of my issues with Dead Rising started with this one. Having issues with Frank West's character started with this one. Some of the over the top shit, like the Stacy boss battle, and just I don't know. It's a good game, but for me, I'll always prefer Dead Rising 2. I just prefer that one and Chuck's version. But the cover art for this game is really, really awesome and really, really cool. I think this is awesome cover art. You got a mix of purple, you got flame in there. Frank West looks cool on the cover. That's how he should have looked in the game. Looks more slim there. His hair is more thinning, which makes more sense. They didn't make it that thinning in the final game. He's got a baseball bat. There's blood on it. There's zombies behind him. You got a cool mixture of blue text, red text, and then the cool 2 number right there. So yeah, you got a cool mixture of colors and in the text as well, and it looks pretty cool. That's in the Uranus zone, so pretty cool cover art. This game never got a physical edition when it got remastered, which is a shame. They should have just gave it a physical edition instead of being lazy. So pretty cool cover art. I always wish that they would have did this for Dead Rising 1. I want a Dead Rising 1 off the record, but what if Chuck Green was in it and you get Psychopath Frank and all that stuff? They need to do that. But this is pretty cool video game cover art, I will say that. Up next is Twisted Metal 4 for the PlayStation 1. I haven't played the Twisted Metal games in a very, very long time, but I remember liking these games back in the day, and Twisted Metal 4 is pretty good. It's pretty cool cover art. You got Sweet Tooth in the sky, and you have cool mixture of colors. You got cool text. Even though that sticker's in the way, my apologies. It's a green label, but I don't really mind. I don't really get hung up on greatest hits editions. I know some people don't care for them and don't really like them, but I don't mind them. So I think it's cool cover art. Sweet Tooth, who's a cool character. You got these 2 vehicles. One of them is Sweet Tooth's truck. Cool mixture of colors. I like how the text looks. So pretty cool cover art. And I remember liking this game and liking the Twisted Metal series back in the day. Twisted Metal Black, I think, was my favorite. That game scared me back in the day because it was such a crazy dark take on the franchise, turning it M rating instead of T rating, and just crazy. Next up is Def Jam Vendetta for PlayStation 2. Really good game. Another good game in the Def Jam series. I think it's underrated. It's a good game. I just feel like it don't get talked about as much. People talk about Fight for New York more than they talk about Vendetta. I think this game deserves to be talked about more. It's more of like the wrestling edition of Def Jam. I think it's pretty cool. It has certain characters in it that weren't in the second one, like DMX and D-Mob and D-Mob. No, D-Mob wasn't the second one. I'm thinking of Debo. And then you have Iceberg, certain exclusive characters. But I like the cover art of this. It's pretty cool. It's Manny wrestling with 9 on the ring, and then you have D-Mob holding up his chain, his Vendetta chain. You got pretty cool orange text. Cool text of the game with orange and white. Pretty cool text. It has a list of characters. I think this is a pretty cool video game cover. I think this game is somewhat expensive to get as well. They need to bring the series back, remaster this, or remake this too, much like Fight for New York. Really do like that game. Next up is Dynasty Warrior 6 for the Xbox 360. I do like this cover art. It's basically Zhao Yun with this blue color. I like the text of red, kind of silverish, whitish, and then this like square thing here. I think it's a pretty cool cover. It's simple. It's just Zhao Yun on the cover, but I just think it looks very flashy and it works, and I think it fits for Dynasty Warriors 6 because I like Xiaoyun's design in Dynasty Warriors 6. This is a really good game. It has its issues, but I had a lot of fun with it. This is a really great game, challenging, and it has a lot of cool ideas in it. Also back when Dynasty Warriors and Warriors games were in their prime. So I like the cover art for that. Cool mixture of red, whites on the text, how it looks. Xiaoyun on the cover is DW6 design, which looks cool. And I like the blue color they have over it. It looks pretty cool. Up next is Dynasty Warriors 4 for PlayStation 2. Great game. My favorite Dynasty Warriors in the series, one of my favorite video games of all time. Really cool cover art. It's got like this red, orange, flame, fiery type of look. You got a bunch of characters in the background of the battlefield, and you got this weapon sticking in the ground. You got cool text, Dynasty Warriors, red and whites, and you got this cool thing right here with the number in it. I think it's pretty cool cover art for Dynasty Warriors 4. I like how it looks. Looks really awesome. And I think that's, yeah, that's a Lu Bu's weapon, I think. But it's really cool cover art. This fiery flame looking thing, filter they got. You got Sun Quan back there. You got Dong Zhuo, Sun Jian, Guan Yu, Sun Se. You know, a lot of the characters in the background. Pretty cool cover art. Up next, you have Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2 for the PlayStation 2. Pretty cool cover art. I like this cover art. You got like this green kind of or yellowish mist right here. You got Kain standing on a rooftop, blood dripping down from his mouth. I think he looks pretty cool on this cover. Really cool looking vampire, white skin, cool sword, his armor, this red text. How the text looks is pretty cool. I liked this game back in the day, but I couldn't really get into it nowadays. I don't know. A lot of people say this is the black sheep of the series and it's the worst one. So, but this is pretty cool cover art. I like the mixture of colors. Kain looks pretty cool on the roof, and his design's pretty awesome. So, pretty cool cover art. Up next is Gauntlet Dark Legacy for PlayStation 2. Really enjoyed this game back in the day. It was a fun game, especially playing co-op with my mom, with my brother. Really good game. And I think the cover art is really cool. You have like this green color. You got the knight, you got the sorceress, you got the dwarf, you got the jester. You got the text, which looks pretty cool, of green and kind of yellow. And you got the rune stones in the background at the top. So pretty cool cover art. I like the cover art for this game. Looks awesome. They should bring that game back, though Midway I don't think's around anymore, sadly. Up next is Resident Evil 4 for the PlayStation 2. This game's been re-released many times, one of my favorite video games of all time. This is a phenomenal game. They did remake this one, and I think the cover art for it looks pretty cool. I like the blue color. You got Leon aiming his gun up. You got all the Ganados in the background, a big cheese. It's in a village. Pretty cool cover art. It's definitely my favorite RE4 cover art we've had. I just think it looks cool. I like the mixture of colors. Leon and their Ganado's big cheese. I like how the text looks and the color of the text. Pretty cool cover art. Up next we have True Crime Streets of LA for PlayStation 2. I thought this game was okay. I played it to completion. It's an okay game. I remember preferring Streets of New York more. This is an okay game. I thought the main character was kind of cringe. A little cheesy. You didn't really get much gun variety. I think they should remake this and make it a lot better. It's an okay game, but I do think the cover art's pretty cool. You got this red color. You got the main character holding up a pistol. You got this cool mixture of black and red text, and white in the background. So I think this is pretty cool cover art. And then you have the main character about to go fight someone on the side in a vehicle. It's basically like GTA, but you play as a police officer pretty much. So pretty cool cover art. Up next is Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Now I actually got this instead of Red Dead 1. This was bought for me back in the day before I even played Red Dead 1. So I played the expansion before I even played Red Dead 1. But this is a really good game, really good expansion of Red Dead Redemption 1. It's basically Red Dead Redemption, but with zombies. And it was Rockstar making a zombie game, which was really cool. And it's awesome, zombie western. Cover art for this is pretty cool. It's the same as Red Dead 1, but zombified. You got zombies here. You got cool mixture of color. I like how the text is, and it's kind of zombie style to it. And then the coolest part of the cover is John Marston as a zombie. He looks pretty cool as a zombie. And it's kind of a hint of things to come for those that have played it. So, Yeah, pretty cool cover art for Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Really awesome. John Marston looks really cool as a zombie. He almost looks like a zombie pirate. It looks like a pirate gun or a pirate shotgun he's holding right there. Which, do you get that in the game? I can't remember. It's been a while since I played it. Let me know if anyone remembers or knows. Next up is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2 for PlayStation 2. Again, I don't know how to feel about Legacy of Kain nowadays. I don't know if I'm into it anymore like I used to be. I don't know. I tried playing this game now and I'm like, maybe the series just needs a reboot or something. I don't know. Certain games maybe don't hold up. Certain ones do. Maybe I'll revisit them again one day and see what I really think of them. But I did like these games back in the day. But this is cool cover art. It's Raziel on a cliff. Got some nice blue color, some nice yellow type color around his arm. And the text looks cool with this blue look, how it's designed. It's cool cover art overall, and I like how it looks. Really dope. It's cool cover art. And Raziel was always cool looking and had a cool character design. Up next is The Godfather, the game for PlayStation 2. Really good game, good GTA style game, adapted from the Godfather movie. My copy of this game is messed up now though, because when I play it in cutscenes it slows down, so there's something wrong with this version. But this is a fun game. You get to take over territories and stuff. If you like GTA, you like this game. I think there's an edition of this on the 7th generation or something. It's a really good game. I've never seen the Godfather movies, but the cover art for this is pretty cool. Mixture of black and white. You got Don Corleone on the front, based off the actor Marlon Brando. You got cool color mixtures in here of black, white, and some red with the rose. You got cool text right here of the black and white. So pretty cool cover art. It's simple, but it works. Up next we have Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation 1. Now, I don't know, this got busted and banged up. My copy of RE2 for the PlayStation 1 is pretty banged up, but you know, like I have the games, but it got cracked or messed up or something. But cover art for this game is pretty cool looking, cool text, cool mixture of the red and kind of gray color. I like the blue color here, and you got the zombie around the corner holding the door. Pretty cool cover art. It's greatest hits, which I personally don't mind. But yeah, it's pretty cool cover art of the zombie on there, the mix of the red and kind of gray text and the Resident Evil 2 title. Then you have a cool blue color right here and the wall the zombie's holding on to. Cool cover art. It's greatest hits, which I don't really mind, but I know a lot of people don't care for greatest hits. Now for this game, I liked this game back in the day, but I can't really get into this game nowadays or any of the old Resident Evil games that are fixed camera angles. They're just not really fun, and I just can't really get into them. You know, they don't do anything for me. And I think it's because it's a fixed camera angle style. Not that I don't know how to control those games, but I don't know, they're just not fun to play. I just can't get into them. So I'm glad they're going back and have went and remade some of these games, because I like the remake of this. But I do respect this game and the old games, because we wouldn't have Resident Evil if it wasn't for these. But I just can't get into these games nowadays because of the style. I really wish I could, because I like some of the Resident Evil games, but I just can't get into this or any of the old style games. So at least the remakes fix that in some aspect for people like me. And then lastly, we have Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition for Xbox 360. Pretty cool cover art. I like the mixture of Lobo, Batgirl, I don't know who that is. That's Zatanna, Martian Manhunter, and you got Batman and Superman down there. Cool colors, cool cover art, a lot of cool looking characters on the cover, cool text, cool color text mixed together. Cool cover art overall. I remember liking this game back in the day. I did like this. I traded it in. I got this from Larry the Batman fan as well, so shout out to him. I need to eventually play this and see what the Ultimate Edition is about, what it comes with, and how the campaign is. Well, I already know how the campaign is, duh, because I played this back in the day, so I don't know why I said that, but it's a good game. And the cover art for this is pretty cool. I can't remember what the regular Injustice cover art looks like. I have to look it up, but the Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition cover art looks cool. Great mix of characters, cool colors, all that stuff. Awesome cover art. So that's it for this video of me talking about cool video game cover art. I just thought it would be something different to talk about and discuss video game cover art that I think looks pretty cool. Because I haven't really seen too many people on YouTube talk about that. I know Silent Rob did like some funny videos going over like bad video game cover art, but haven't really seen anybody talk about cool video game cover art that looks awesome. And I figured I'd talk about it. And this is one of the reasons why physical media is really cool. This is, you don't get this from digital. But anyways, that's it for the video of cool video game cover art. You let me know what video game cover art you think is really cool. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say in this video. If you're into gaming and like watching a channel that talks about gaming, subscribe to this channel. Give this video a like if you liked it, and leave a comment. Like I said, of video game cover art you think is cool. And yeah, that's it for this video. This is the Gaming Jackal, and peace.